What's up and welcome back to another episode of BBQiT. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Craig Kimberly, your host. Today, lump charcoal, battle of the best. 3 you've probably heard of, 3 you might not have. So here are the things we're gonna test for today on all 6 of these lump charcoals. First off, what is in the bags or the box? Is it full of lump charcoal? Is it full of gravel and a bunch of crap at the bottom? Believe me, I found a lot of stuff in some of these different brands. Then we're gonna measure out the same amount of each, put them in their own brand new chimneys, never been used, torch them all the same way, and then see how they burn, how quickly they burn, how hot they burn. Let's get it. So what is lump hardwood charcoal? Well, if you don't know, lump hardwood charcoal is basically wood in its purest form, where it's been cooked or baked almost, where they fire it in a very oxygen-tight environment. And it's basically cooked very hot, but not burned to death. So what you get left is what's called char. All the volatiles are burned out of this: hydrogen, tar, the moisture, the water, everything. And what you're left is something very light, burns very hot and very fast. Burns a lot hotter than these. These are very consistent. These can be inconsistent. Now, when I say inconsistent, I mean inconsistent. This is a piece I got out of a cowboy charcoal bag, and so is this. That's right. There's an example of what this stuff truly is. In this case, you know, leftover timber, not lumber so much. There's the bark on it and everything. Let's look at the tail of the tape and see who we're contending with today. In the category of you've probably heard of before, and on the higher end, green egg. Royal oak, very common. A lot of guys love this stuff. Cowboy lump, you see that in a lot of grocery stores, and you know, can be up and down sometimes. BNB, becoming one of the big, huge barbecue stars coming out of Texas. I've cooked with it before, it's fantastic. Rockwood, first time finding it, never seen it, but our Ace Hardware carries it and they're pretty popular. There's twice as many of those than Home Depots or something, so that's probably gonna be around for a bit. And over here, black diamond in a box. This stuff claims to be some sort of organic, whatever that means, lump hardwood charcoal that lasts 5 times longer than, I guess, BBQiT charcoals. But it says 5 times longer, you can use it 5 times. We're definitely gonna be putting it to the test. So, on to dumping these bags and let's find out what's really inside. Up first, it is cowboy lump charcoal. You usually find this in grocery stores and in other places. Kinda common. It is made in Mexico, not the United States, and I don't know what type of wood they use because I can't find it on the bag. Let's see what's inside. Whoa, there's some big pieces. That's promising. Oh, there we have it. All right, so at first glance, as you can see, there's definitely some big pieces. Some good medium-sized pieces, lots of bark action going on there. This is probably going to be pretty indicative of all the bags, maybe not this extreme, where you go from this to this. And so that's why it's, you know, pretty inexpensive and you find it in grocery stores. Lump hardwood charcoal, cowboy, made in Mexico, very inconsistent, but there when you need it. All right, so there's a pound. 1 pound, really good sizes. Up next, Royal Oak, coming out of Roswell, Georgia. They've been around since the 50s pretty much. And I do like Royal Oak, I use it quite a bit. They're made in America, obviously, and they claim no chemicals, no additives, no nothing, 100% lump hardwood charcoal. And being that their name is Royal Oak, I'm gonna assume that it's oak. All right, let's see what's in the bag. Oh. Hug your charcoal. Oh, look at that. Starting to see consistencies throughout here. Ooh. Where's the gravel, you say? There's a little bit at the end. All right, so there's a huge difference right away that we've seen from our first contender cowboy. Almost no gravel down here. It's really not that bad. That's expected because the bags get banged around. Ultimately, this is a very consistent bag of charcoal. Nothing's ridiculously too huge, and there's just a lot of, you know, good sized pieces. And that's why this stuff's worth it, you know, it's consistent. You can do fast, hot burns with this stuff. A nice even cook you can do with this because the pieces are the same size. Royal Oak, pretty much worth it right there. All right, let's check out BNB. Next up, BNB claims to be hotter burning cleaner lump charcoal. They all claim this, by the way. Claim to be all natural too. And it's oak. And it's, look, it's Texas style. But it's not made in Texas, it's made in Mexico. Just like Cowboy. Now B&B actually has kind of bust onto the barbecue scene in the past few years, but they've been around since 1961. And they do make a really good quality product. I've used them before as well. Let's see what's in the bag. It feels very lumpy. This is like Christmas every time I open one of these. I mean, I'm feeling lumps in the bottom that are as big as the ones in the top. All right. Woo! I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty satisfying. Well, looky here. Extremely consistent batch we have here. Even the small pieces aren't that small. I mean, these are, you know, burnable. Nothing too big and gigantic. Everything can fit in any chimney, which is a really good thing. Some of those pieces, like in Cowboy, I mean, you're not putting those in a chimney. But this is fantastic. Across the board, very consistent. You can do all kinds of cooks with this. I love B&B. I use it myself. I started using it this year. Good stuff. Up next, it's Rockwood, which I found at Ace Hardware. And it is made in Missouri. Well, it says made in USA, and it says it's Missouri hardwood lump charcoal. So I think it's made in Missouri, but it says maple, oak, hickory, and maple on the bag. So let's see what's inside. Looks really good. Getting out of control here. Goodness. Seems to be more in this 20-pound bag than the other ones. What am I seeing? Well, it says beautifully imperfect on the bag, meaning different stuff. Definitely catching that, you know, long, strange pieces. Cool tones. Decent size, you know, big pieces, lots of medium pieces, lots of straight sticks like these, or a few of those, which is really an interesting burn. And then, you know, the gravel, the stuff at the bottom, once again, not that bad. You know, you're getting your money's worth. Actually, probably the best so far when it comes to the bottom of the bag. Ultimately, yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Rockwood, pretty consistent. Oak, hickory, maple. Probably worth, haven't cooked with it yet, but we're gonna find out how it burns. Let's measure some out. There we go. In this corner, hailing from Atlanta, Georgia, right here in the United States, it's BGE, the Big Green Egg. And yes, they make huge and probably some of the most expensive Kamados in the prosumer market, but they also make really good lump charcoal. So let's dump out this bag of quality hickory and oak and see what's inside. I know it's gonna be consistent. Look at that, already very consistent looking. Wow. Again, it seems like more than 20 pounds. Looks good, looks very consistent. I smell almost like campfire smell, like I smell the wood. I can't say I've had that for any of the other ones. I'm seeing a lot of different size pieces here, but nothing ridiculous. Different types of wood. It almost looks like one day it was gonna be siding and then they turned it into lump. But you know, different stuff. I don't see a lot of bark on this stuff like I see on some other brands. Pretty consistent. Everything looks like it'll fit in a big chimney and burn. Not a lot of gravel again down here, a little bit, but the amount I expect in any good sized 20-pound bag. Very consistent, Big Green Egg coming out of Atlanta. They know what they're doing. They got to make good lump charcoal because they make fantastic Kamados. So yes, it smells good. The other ones didn't do that. That's really cool. So one more, let's get on to the Black Diamond. There it is, the chimney for the BGE. A little rain's not gonna stop us from doing number 6, the Black Diamond Charwood box. Never seen it before and it was on sale. It was actually less than $6. So it claims to burn 5 times longer. It says that this 1.1 cubic foot box, 6 pounds, maybe 7, is the equivalent to a 22-pound bag. I'll be testing that and making a video as well. It's also made in Russia, strangely enough. So I don't know, maybe it'll make barbecue great again. Let's see. Hailing from Russia. It's looking more like 10 pounds. Well, that's interesting. It's a pretty even box or bag. That's kind of the biggest piece in here. And yeah, there's a little bit of small stuff, but not a ton. What there is a great deal of this size stuff, which is kind of what's left over after you usually use regular lump hardwood charcoal. You get little bits like that left over. So let's go ahead and measure this out, and then we'll get to burning if the weather holds out. Black diamond charwood from Russia. You're going up against the Americans and the Mexicans, buddy. Hope you can do it. All right, let's weigh some out. So the pieces I've been trying to use is nothing any bigger than that. Stuff that'll fit in a small Weber chimney and burn equally like the other ones. 7/8. I'll take it. There it is, probably our most full chimney. Black diamond, straight from Russia. Okay, so starting from the left, we've got Cowboy, then Royal Oak, then BNB, then Rockwood, Green Egg, and coming in last and the tallest, Black Diamond. Different amounts visually, but they're all 1 pound apiece. Right now, Green Egg's looking like it's gonna burn till tomorrow. The Cowboy showed the most flames the earliest. Now the Royal Oak, burning very consistent, very hot, and there's still black on top of these charcoals. The B&B, very hot, got a lot of charcoal action on top already. Rockwood, nice and pitch white, looks really good, really hot. This is the Green Egg, which is, you know, one of the more full baskets, and it's still very full. And we've probably hit 18 minutes. Oh no, we're at 24 minutes in. I mean, these would have been flipped and you're cooking at this point. But the Green Egg, for that much, for a pound, I would say I might let that burn a few more minutes before I flip it. And then of course the Black Diamond, which is sputtering right now. It's burning. They all seem to be burning really well and really hot. So basically what we're gonna decide at the end of this now is, with a pound of charcoal, who sticks around the longest, who gives you the longest cook time, because they all get very hot, they all light very easy, and they all smell really good, but they're all in front of me, so who knows. All right, so here's the tail of the tape. Very unexpected. A little bit of shock going on here now that we've hit the hour-and-a-half mark, and it's just, this is very surprising. First place, look at that, still coming in at 1,000 degrees, B&B charcoal. Second place, guess what? Cowboy, coming in at 1,000 degrees still. Third place, believe it or not, Royal Oak, 800 and change still. I can't hold my hand above these too long. These are still cooking. That's jamming. Look at that, it's so different. Now come over here, and of course, Rockwood, I mean, I could pick that up. Now with the Green Egg, it actually cooled down and got a little consistent at the end. I thought it was gonna be second place, but it's kind of more like fourth place. Black Diamond, that's also cooled down a little bit. Fifth, and you know, Rockwood sixth. So for the money, B&B, undisputed winner. Really close second, because honestly, Green Egg, Cowboy, and Royal Oak were all burning and still had some heat going. But strangely enough, Cowboy was still burning really hot. Black Diamond, yeah, coming in at the end. And of course, Rockwood just kind of wasn't happening. So there you have it. The lineup's kind of changed throughout. I really thought it was gonna be, you know, a close tie for first. B&B, undisputed winner. Green Egg does burn consistently and is worth it. But I'm really surprised with Cowboy. A third of the bag will be crap, but the bag that is good and it's cheap will cook, will burn. So thanks for watching BBQiT this episode. It was a bit long, but this is one of our biggest tests ever. We really wanted to get it out there. I know what you're thinking. Craig, what about Western Charcoal? What about this brand? Yeah, there's a lot of other brands out there. We'll test those down the road. This was a good start. Go out and get some B&B charcoal. Thanks for watching BBQiT.